So what I've done is that I've gone around the whole model and I've adjusted these um, to to make them more aligned, made them line up with each other. So you can see both these models, the edges are kind of lined, so it looks like it's a continuation of geometry from one to another. It's important that you do this is because when we attach this whole thing together, we'll be able to merge the vertices so it looks like it's one. I had to add a bit extra geometry in this area. As you can see, this wasn't there before. Extra edge flow here, and I also added one here just to make these flow correctly, and even one in this area. The reason being was so I could stitch this up with this area, so I can connect these two up and find points. So you have to think about it. We'll leave this area a bit loose right now because that'll need some kind of we'll work on that later on. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna focus on the yellow zone, the yellow area, and it's the same thing that we did before. So instead of having three models that we weren't gonna edit all together, so I just left that for now. So quickly we'll do the exact same thing that we did previously. Create a line. Keep this one quite simple. It's not that much of a big structure, so well, one maybe. Oh, it's already active. I've already got the enabler active in this viewport. So what I'll do is I'll do 2, 3, maybe another one, and 4 points. So that pretty much should give us our model. So we're happy with that. It's up to you. It's optional if you want to turn it yellow just to so you can see it. So I'm going to convert this into editable poly. Go again back to my shift and pull options, and pretty much try to get this shape here. So for now I'll keep this one quite simple, so that's a bit like that. So I'll move this out a bit. Again, try to you might need to add a bit more geometry like previously, just because it's a bigger area that we're covering. Shape the air out, so we're doing the same thing now, what we were doing before. This area does not need to attach really, so I'm just gonna I made my brush size smaller while I was adjusting the other stuff. You can do that by just simply going and adjusting some of these options here. So if I go back here, I'll carry on adjusting this one. Once we're happy with what we're building, we can then go and start putting this together. I'll again, even for this option, I'm gonna come back here and add a bit more geometry. I think it's just a bit too rough right now, so it definitely needs a bit more in there. So come back here, add maybe flow connect there. I can select this whole area here. And just move it slightly around. You can go to vertex mode and shift this around. I'm not too sure about this yet. I might change it so it goes up toward this side yet. But for now, what we'll do is we'll leave it at that. So what we'll do is we'll leave it at that. Just adjust some of these. That's probably a bit too wide. So this area is going to be quite flat, and it's going to be the part of the face, if anything. So it's going to be quite flattened out when we adjust this. So it just needs to connect. So I might need to add a bit more topology in there if I'm gonna connect this up. For now, I'll leave that the way it is. So maybe even move these points up to here. Again, it's totally up to you how you're gonna. If you want to follow this way, or if you got any other ideas, you're welcome to try your own methods as well. This works for me, it's worked for me before, so I'll stick it to that. I mean, a lot of the times when you're modeling, something might be working for you, but then you might have to adjust it later on. I mean, it's just the process. I mean, if you ask, when I modeled the first ear, the one that I showed you in the beginning of the tutorials, I mean, that was done in a similar manner, but it's not every button or every option, or all the options that I changed, and it was not exactly the same. It's pretty much following the same kind of principles, but in terms of adjustments, it's definitely not the same. So what I'll do is I'll adjust this, and then I'll meet you in the next tutorial.